I think there's two. One is in motor vehicles. For fuel cell vehicles with hydrogen as the fuel, um, the idea being is that even if you make hydrogen in a non-green way, the local pollution is reduced because the only product of the process is water.
Yeah.
And the other one is using hydrogen to store excess renewable electricity. There are aspects such as the cost, reliability, how they cycle when you use them, and of course the storage issue, which is where my main research is storage. So we're talking of something 350 times the pressure in your car tyre. So there are all sorts of issues with this very high pressure gas, and of course hydrogen is a combustible gas. I think we always need to be careful of safety, especially in the public domain. And what I would say about hydrogen, it's been used for many, many years as a chemical reactant in oil refining and ammonia synthesis. So people know how to manage hydrogen safely. And one person said to me recently, "Isn't hydrogen explosive?" I said, "Well, yes, it is, and that's why it's useful as a fuel." A simple one is electrolysis of water using renewable electricity, actually. But unfortunately, electrolyzers are not always. They can be sensitive to the water, the composition of the water used. Saline water is not always easy to electrolyse. You can produce hydrogen from biomass. The current technique is called steam methane reforming, which is where it's high temperature reaction of steam and methane, natural gas, and that's the main industrial route now. Even now, if you have a fuel cell car, almost certainly the hydrogen's from steam methane reforming. And you could say, well, we could still have steam methane reforming with carbon capture to mitigate the carbon problem, but then what do you do with the carbon dioxide? So I think actually electrolysis is an interesting and easy one to suggest, but you have to be quite careful with the technology on that. It could make hydrogen expensive, and at least initially. At the moment, the current state-of-the-art storage of hydrogen in a motor car is 700 bar. There are challenges with that. One is the cost of compression. One is the materials that you need to contain that hydrogen at those high pressures. They can be very expensive. So what I'm looking at is alternative routes to store hydrogen. And the method we're looking at the moment is integrating a highly porous material inside the tank. You may have heard of metal organic frameworks or zeolites or activated carbons. So if you put these materials inside the tank, the pressure will go down. The hydrogen's not going anywhere, it's just except inside the pores. So our idea is we can either drop the pressure, which could help with reducing the investment costs in the tank, make it safer as well, or you could get more hydrogen for 700 bar. And actually the industry are interested in the latter, not the former, because they reckon it's safe enough. And what we're looking at is development of new materials that can possibly be integrated into these high pressure tanks. And in fact the material we're looking at is called PIM1. We're working with Andy Burrows and a colleague in mechanical engineering called Chris Bowen on how we can engineer these materials to integrate inside tanks.
Oh, thank you very much.